If you ever thought that you had seen the full range of co-parenting chaos in your life, if you ever told yourself there is nothing left online that can truly shock me, well, today's episode is the universe saying, challenge accepted. The clips we're about to break down come from TikTok, and they involve a custody exchange, custodial interference, alleged impersonation of a CPS worker, police at the door, and a plot twist ending. This mom is now in prison. So this is going to be quite the episode. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Maddie, and welcome back to the Anti-Alienation Project. Here I talk about a form of very damaging child psychological harm that I went through for 20 years, often called parental alienation. And just for those of you who are new, this involves a parent manipulating their child to reject their other parent. And I went through this for 20 years. I rejected my dad because I believed lies and false allegations that my mom instilled in me at the young age of 9. Now I'm on a mission to educate the public about this abuse, as well as on a healing journey and rebuilding my relationship with my dad. And in this first clip, we see the mom explaining quite proudly that she has her son during his father's custodial time. And she describes how she contacted the law enforcement pretending to be a CPS agent. And I want to be extremely careful, factual, and non-libelous here. What we see on camera, what you're about to see, is that she states in her own words, putting this online on TikTok, that she called her co-parent while claiming to be someone related to a child protective authority. I'm just going to go ahead and play the clip for you because it's kind of unbelievable.
I will not wait for the law to do its job. I've been waiting for 6 years. I took matters into my own hands. My son is now where he belongs. He's safe. He's happy. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to jail anyway. Might as well go out with a bang.
I think that we can all say that she is being quite bold here, but it gets even worse. So I was going through a count. I didn't think it could get much worse, and then it did, and then it did, and then it got worse and worse and worse again. So here we go.
So basically, last night I took my son and I just never returned him because, first of all, I'm not gonna wait for a judge to tell me when I can see my child that I have joint custody of, by the way. So I'm in deep shit, but it's okay. The cops were here all night banging on the door. The real CPS worker was texting the fake one. When I say fake one, yeah, I had to kind of pretend that I was CPS to get this visit to even take place. Yeah, the risks I had to take. But it was totally worth it to wake up to this.
Now, so many things are wrong with this clip that we might have to play it a few times for me to fully break it down. But let's just start with the false impersonation. So what could this represent legally, you might be wondering? Well, impersonating a state employee or agency representative. This is prohibited under state law. For example, many states have false impersonation. There's also impersonation of a public servant. That's criminal action. And all states classify custodial interference or interference of child custody as unlawful, and that is when a parent knowingly violates a custody order. Now, I'm not saying that she committed all of those. I'm saying that this clip in particular from TikTok shows behavior consistent with those sort of acts that these laws are designed to address. Now, impersonating a CPS worker is bold. Most people in this situation might have sent a passive-aggressive text, like a normal dysfunctional co-parent. But no, she really woke up and chose violence today. She decided to cosplay as a governmental agency. And this is the TikTok, in my opinion, the TikTok equivalent of saying, Alexa, show me the fastest route to jail. The second thing I want to say about this clip is regarding what she has there on the text. She says, to all my mommies going through parental interference or alienation, I don't recommend what I did by any means, but sometimes when no one listens, you got to take matters into your own hands. My son is safe. That's all that matters. Yes. She is claiming, I'm the one that's being alienated. Yep. So she refers to herself as the alienated parent. This is where my dry humor and my 20 years of lived experience as a child who was alienated from a parent collide. Because one documented pattern in this family dynamic is that the parent who is doing the alienating and the withholding of the child claiming that they are the one who is experiencing alienation. Not always, it doesn't always happen, but often. And it's projection, it's Darvo. I'm not diagnosing her, but in this case scenario, it is often projection, role reversal. They claim I'm the one being alienated while withholding the child. And this is an example of a statement that is consistent with abusers in court claiming that they are actually being alienated from their child. It's like stealing someone's car and then going online to complain that your car is missing. It's mind-boggling. It's designed to put the attention over here so you don't look at me right here. It's crazy-making behavior, and I see right through it because this is a parent that I lived with. Now, I want to show you another clip because as she goes on and on, it seems like she just made a few videos the same night. Here's the next one.
I'm not waiting for no judge to tell me I can have my kid. I took him. I'm not posting that.
Let's break this down. Okay, first of all, to have the child there in the room with you. Imagine how scared that kid must be. And then also, she's laughing about it. She's bragging about this, about committing a crime. She's posting her crimes on TikTok and bragging about it, laughing of it, making light of it. And then I want to play the clip again because here's where her alleged, I think this is her mom. I think this is the child's grandma. I could be wrong, but it seems like the grandma right there at the end. Watch.
I'm not waiting for no judge to tell me I can have my kid. I took him.
She's like, what are you thinking? What are you saying? Okay, that brings me to what I just went over in my research last week with family systems theory and cross-generational coalitions. Okay, so it's like in a typical functional family, you have a hierarchy. You have parents, and then you have the subordinate kids. In a dysfunctional family, the hierarchy gets reversed. A child comes up to the position of a parent, and the child and the parent turn against the other parent in this cross-generational coalition. And it can often bring in a grandparent too. And they're all working together against this one parent who's targeted. So just the fact that I see this older woman who I'm suspecting is the grandparent is here helping her allegedly commit this crime. And she's doing it all in front of her son. All in front of her son. This is where technology comes in the worst way. Social media has created a new version of what family courts have dealt with for decades, except now the child is on camera, the behavior is documented, the behavior is public, and strangers become an audience to a child's real-time trauma. The child is also becoming content for this girl. Whether or not she's making money on TikTok, I don't care. I do not believe it is right to be exposing your child, especially under these circumstances. You could even term this as digital exploitation in a high conflict custody case. And I see this as a new emerging genre, you could say, in social media. It's disturbing and it's sick. This describes situations where a parent is posting about their custody conflict online in ways that can embarrass the child, in ways that undermine the other parent, in ways that escalate conflict, and most importantly, in ways that create a permanent digital record that the child will later find. And kids always find it. If you think a teenager can't dig up old TikToks, you have never met a teenager. So the last clip I'm going to play is these cops at her doors, and it is simply a photo of the cop at her door. And it says, not answering the effing door, that's what I'm going to do. She really, I don't know if she even got high school diploma with her grammar here. But the song in the background is actually bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when I come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when I come for you? And her answer to that song that's playing in the background of this TikTok is not answer the effing door. That's what I'm gonna do. And if you go back to her account right here, let's just zoom in. If you look at the first video, it actually says she's in the precinct. So she has actually been arrested. And by the way, please don't go send hate to this girl. That's not my intention at all. My intention is to expose this new sector of social media. Again, staying factual, the officers appear to be performing what looks like perhaps a welfare check because of the custody order, and she's breaking it. And legally speaking, when a custody order exists and you refuse to return a child during the other parent's lawful custody time, this is a criminal statute that you're breaking: custodial interference or interference with child custody. And it's defined as a parent knowingly withholding a child from the other parent in violation of a custody order. In some states, actually refusing to comply in the presence of a law enforcement officer can actually escalate the charge. And when the police knock on the door, just got to say, most people put the camera down. They do not prop it up and hit record like they're filming their newest unboxing video. But this is the influencer era. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're unboxing a felony. Yeah. Now, what is the real world outcome? The real world outcome, as you can tell, is that she is currently incarcerated. I'm not speculating on why. I'm not naming names. I'm not naming charges. The point here also is not to celebrate this woman's downfall. I'm trying to illustrate how quickly things can escalate when someone turns custody orders and breaking them, when someone turns crimes into content. And what might be the effects for her child? Confusion. Perhaps he finds these videos down the line and he's angry, he's hurt, he's confused. He is likely going to suffer some mental health effects. It's possible. And the bottom line is that when your co-parenting strategy involves a custody order and a ring light, you're no longer co-parenting. The tragedy is what this does to the child. I'm sure he feels caught in between his parents, and his face is out there now. Perhaps his name is even out there now, not because I'm putting it out there, but I mean, his own mother did. And maybe the most important part is that that child in those videos is learning that the disagreement between his parents and that his parents' custody battle over him has become content online. That his life and his pain is content. That the adult he depends on is acting for an audience instead of acting in his best interest. And technology certainly did not create this family dynamic or this type of manipulation and psychological abuse. It's been around since personality disorders have existed, but it definitely has given it a microphone. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Have you noticed this up and coming genre of child exploitation regarding court custody? And what are your thoughts on this? Do you think there need to be laws in place against filming your child in this context? Anyway, thanks for watching. As always, please like the video if you found it helpful or insightful, and I'll see you next time.